I'm going to walk through this trade I took on ES this morning. It was a trade using the 15-minute opening range break strategy that I posted on my YouTube. So there is a full breakdown of the strategy, and I'm just going to walk through a quick trade recap on this trade specifically right here that netted me $1,113.75 on ES this morning. So heading into open, it was pretty choppy. So looking back here at the price action from the overnight session, and this is ES on the 5-minute chart, it was very choppy. So we just were consolidating around our 200 EMA, our 20 EMA, and our VWAP. But heading into the day, I did have a slight bullish bias because if you look at the hourly chart here, we can see that our structure is bearish, where we made these new lows yesterday and during the overnight session. So structure was bearish heading into the day, but what I was seeing was that we had not yet tapped into discount from our bearish range right here. And in addition, discount also lined up with the 200 EMA right here, and we also had this high that was resting right here as well. So everything was pointing towards the fact that we could see a bit of a pullback into this discounted area, or at least some bullish momentum heading into today, because we had yet to tap into this discount area, and our 200 EMA was also resting here on our hourly chart. But the overall higher time frame structure was bearish, but today I just had this feeling, and through a lot of experience, I just felt like price might want to pull back into this area right here. So then heading back to the 5-minute chart, we were chopping around for majority of the morning session, which heading into the day got me a little hesitant on even trading today. But my setup presented itself, and I had to stick to my gut and take the trade. But now heading into actual market open, so like I mentioned, we were chopping here, heading into market open after establishing our 15-minute opening range, which was from 7468 to 7438.25. We established our opening range, and then as you can see on this move right here, we swept the low, and then we had this nice move, and we just barely broke the 15-minute opening range, but it was still a valid break. So at this point, with my mindset going into the day that price might see a pullback into that discounted range on our hourly chart, and we just got a break of the 15-minute opening range, I was looking for longs, and I actually initially took a loss today where we had this inverted 5-minute bearish engulfing candle that we broke, and it also lined up perfectly with our EMAs and VWAP. I actually took a long right here, targeting a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward, which also lined up with that hourly high that I had mentioned right here. So the high of day from yesterday. So I entered into that trade, that initial trade right here on this 5-minute bearish engulfing candle that got flipped. And as you can see, I got stopped out of this trade, and we ended up taking the low a day again. But after taking that low, look at the reaction we had, and we re-broke that 5-minute bearish engulfing candle. So I stuck with it, and I placed that limit order again, and I put that stop at low a day again, and I was going to target a 2-to-1, which also lined up with those hourly highs. And as you can see, after I got tapped into the trade for a second time, we ended up running to our target right there. And I didn't hold runners, but if I wanted to hold runners, that discount area at 7507.50 would have been a great spot to hold runners, but I didn't hold runners. I just stuck to my gut at that hourly high right there and a 2-to-1 risk to reward. But in review of the trade, we had broken the 15-minute opening range, so that gives us a bullish bias heading into the day. So after we broke that opening range, I was looking for the entry point, which to me is an inverted bearish engulfing candle. As you can see, price came down. We tested that inverted bearish engulfing candle, but we ended up running all the way through the low of day right here. And then we ended up finding additional support that took us back above that inverted bearish engulfing candle. So placed the limit order at 7455.75 with my stop below the low, since this was a sweeping move right here of our bullish zone. So our stop was below the low right there, and then we targeted just a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward. And it'll be interesting to see if, now that we're testing the 20 EMA here, we do find additional support up into that discounted area. But I took everything off at a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So all in all, 40-point trade. I think in total I traded 6 MES contracts for a total net profit of $1,113.75.